Anyway, no, and at the audition, they were not accustomed to being treated like human beings, like he treated everyone. And when he dismissed someone, he went up to them personally. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. And so all over Munich and then Germany and all Europe, it became a dancer's joke. Not a joke, but it became famous. And it would be, if somebody rejected somebody, it was thank you for coming.
Here, I was still taking classes, and it was when Yul Brynner had the King and I revival. So what was Fosse doing? Sweet Charity, a revival of it or something? I don't know what year, but there was a guy in my class that told me that he was going to a Fosse audition the next day. And I knew he had no chance, but good luck. So the next couple days later, when I was in class, I saw the guy there, and I said, how was the audition? He said, oh, it was so wonderful. I mean, he came over and he thanked us. I mean, he won fans from that audition from saying thank you. Yep. Great reputation.
Yeah, he was.
But his rehearsals were like a love fest sometimes. Other people, like Jerry Robbins, you break your leg because you didn't want to lose your job. But with Bobby, you break your leg because you didn't want to disappoint him. He really, I think, calculated he made you fall in love with him because he got much more work out of you more easily that way.
This is very true. Harvey, you were to say something.
It's not that funny, but it just happened recently. I used to work really hard at giving him what he wanted and watching his line and everything, and I think it was New Girl in Town. We took off our hats and we had to prance down the stage, and he kept, one day he yelled in rehearsals, Harvey, keep your shoulder down, like that. And so recently John gave me a tape of something of Bobby and Gwen doing that number, and his shoulder's up. It ain't that easy, Bobby. Yes, but no, you did work hard at being exactly specific. And this number in New Girl in Town, the trio, was way before people thought of him only as this. He was much more athletic and vaudevillian in his early days than he is thought of now. Right. He's thought of as, Fosse and Danson maybe went, yeah, that did it. But he.
But I think. I'll toss this out, you can toss it back. But to me, all those precise, small movements, to me it started with Secretary Is Not a Toy. I don't remember Redhead, but he took those small little movements, then he broke the ensemble up. So you'd have 4 people making a line, and then suddenly they'd work against 3 people making a triangle. Then 5 or 6 people making a circle, and it's very geometric. And I think there's a clear line from Secretary into Rich Kid's Rag of Little Me into the Rich Man's Frug and Brass Band of Charity, and then into Pippin. And then I think he tended to get so stylized he forgot to move.
No, he did evolve, and all of his style it's almost become a contagion around now. You cannot see a television commercial without seeing the influence. The Rockettes.
What are you talking about?
I have no idea.
No, I have when I did the number with Gwen, she said, where's your hat? I said, I don't have one. So she gave me one of Bobby's hats, and it's on the wall at my house. And everybody that tries it on, whether they're in the business or not, goes right to a pose of Fosse. It's just amazing what it transfers people into him.
Even the fall down step from Little Me, from How to Succeed, which he also used in the Frug, and the front page of the fine arts section of the New York Times was a picture of the Rockettes during Bob's fall line. They do it in slow motion, but it's the same thing, and so he stole from himself, and now the world is stealing from him. But
I think he stole that pony
Michael
stuff
Kidd.
from
The
Jack
pony.
Cole and
Jack Cole.
they all
That's
stole.
right.
They all stole. Ah, Jack Cole. Yeah, he.
His movement became smaller and very precise. Also, about the same time, he started doing the movies when you can focus easily. And I think that contributed to the smallness of the movement because he tried to focus in on it, which is not so easy to do on the stage as opposed to a camera.
But then in Yankees, there's Shoeless Joe, which is all athletic and pounding.
Right.
But then Shoeless Joe. But then, of course, Lola. I mean that was the containment was there. He didn't use it as much as he did later
Well,
on.
Shoeless Joe was very Chaplin-esque in style, along with a
And
kind of
athletic.
athletic Fred Astaire style. It was very much like that. Whereas in Two Lost Souls, in the second act, it was very, I mean, I'm all over the place. You know, he always say, bring it down, you know, and I'd be like this to me, it almost knocked out the fun, but it was what he wanted, and it was what paid off. It really counted for his style. He was terrific. It was wonderful. But he saw something else in Jack Cole that nobody else saw, that he took and adapted to his own ways, his own styles, his own energy, that really created another style for him that was just fantastic, that the dancers of today are still following it. But it was his eye and his feeling that saw that extra thing, and with his special thing that he had within him, he took that and made it a great dancing style. And I'm talking about his Chaplin, his adoration for Chaplin, his adoration for Fred Astaire, and of course for Jack Cole. And when Gwen would do a step like this, he'd see it and he'd minimize it, take it down, and he just kind of adjusted to himself, and it became another. It was ingenious. I mean, it was great.
Where do you
that was the
think-
Fosse style. It just came out of that. That's what happened.
Where do you think it started, though?
I think. Well, I was in Damn Yankees.
Yeah, it wasn't in Bells Are Ringing.
Well,
I mean,
no,
Pedestrian.
No, I think it started maybe in Pajama Game with Carol Haney, who was his star dancer, and I think that she was kind of she was a Jack Cole dancer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And from her, he took some of that movement and adjusted it to Steam Heat, but that was not subtle.
Right.
That was really big. But when he got to Damn Yankees and he worked with Gwen, again, he got the Jack Cole technique, then it adjusted his Chaplin thing, his Fred Astaire thing, minimized, and his feelings about everything, and that extra special thing, I don't know what the hell it is, but that extra special thing that he had in himself came out of all that, and he developed the Fosse style. That's good. No. That was it.
On New Girl in Town, he used to be really tight with his dancers. He would throw parties for just the dancers. And he was courting Gwen then. And I remember one party he gave on some small apartment he had on the west side, and he had a low bed. And I almost felt sorry for him because Gwen was holding court on the bed with all of us on the floor around, just talking about Jack Cole and Jack Cole and Jack Cole. And I'm thinking, hey, here's Bobby sitting here and it's Jack Cole. So he obviously, all that filtered through him, like you said. Yeah. And I remember our dressing room up there. Yeah. I looked down and one night, Gwen was in the middle and Fosse was on one side and Jack Cole was on the other side, and they were walking up 46th Street. And I thought, oh, I'm seeing history here. This is fantastic.
Yeah.